Hello everybody, welcome to a topical update here. This is a look at what's the main topic worldwide right now and what are the topics, and of course is Cyclone YASA nearing landfall over the island of Levu on Fiji here. As you can see on radar, this is the latest radar scan as of about 13 minutes ago. Here you can see the Eyewall is just about to reach the shore here on the coast of, again, island of Levu of Fiji here, and I apologize if I'm butchering the pronunciation of that. I don't really, you don't really talk about Fiji that much when it comes to intense tropical cyclones like this in a South Pacific season. So I apologize for any mispronunciations on my part here on the city and island names here. So this is like what the storm looks like on radar imagery. This is just a single frame here. The radar site is right about here, so it's about to get into the Eyewall here if it isn't already. So I really hope we don't lose communications with this radar site here. We have earlier actually, but let's hope that we don't lose it in the Eyewall and it gets into the eye to collect viable data that the researchers down in Fiji definitely need for the system and post-season analysis. Here's what the storm looks like on a loop here. This is a composite of all three radar sites on the island of Fiji. One over here on the western side of VT Levu, right here, the Nadi airport here, radar right there. And on the west coast, on the east coast of VT Levu right there, the Suva radar there. And of course, right there, the Labasa airport on Levu there on Fiji there. And you can see they're having really bad communication issues between the two, especially the two radar sites, the one in Labasa and one in Suva, around Suva, over there on the western part of, again, VT Levu there. So they're having communication issues with those two radars. So let's just hope that they survive and that they don't lose communication from the storm here. But again, this is what it looks like on radar from Fiji right now. Here's what the storm looks like on visible satellite imagery right now off of Himawari 8. And you can see the storm's getting closer and closer towards the island there. Of course, you see the eye is starting to get less and less defined than it was earlier this morning. And that is because the storm is gradually weakening as it's heading for land here. The storm is now no longer a 160 mile per hour Category 5 Saffir-Simpson equivalent cyclone. Now it is a 150 mile per hour Category 4 Saffir-Simpson scale equivalent cyclone nearing landfall here over Fiji. Let's go ahead and take a look at the latest forecast cone from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center here. Again, 130 knot winds, which is about 150 miles per hour, which is firmly in the higher Category 4 range on the Saffir-Simpson scale, and forecast to make the landfall within the next, I think, 6 to 12 hours here over the island there of Levu over Fiji there. So it's gonna, if you haven't done any preparations already, it's too late to pretty much at this point in time. You have to hunker down where you are. If you have a really close nearby shelter that still has some room available in it, go into there as soon as you possibly can, because the conditions are going to start to rapidly deteriorate if they aren't already, especially along the coast of Levu, the northwestern coast of Levu there of Fiji. So please take this cyclone seriously. And here is infrared, well, not infrared, this is water vapor imagery off of Himawari 8 there, and you can see a little better view of just the eye getting progressively more clouded over with time now. Just because that's happening does not mean you need to stop taking the cyclone seriously. This is, again, still a 150 or 130 knot Category 4 equivalent cyclone here with even higher wind gusts. So please keep that in mind. I guess for a really recent comparison, I know it's in a completely different basin, completely different time of year, but just picture the scenes that you saw with Hurricane Laura in Louisiana earlier this year in Louisiana. Picture that and just imagine that going on in Fiji right now. That's pretty much what the sort of kind of, I guess, sounds and maybe sights that you could see once daybreak rises again over Fiji, once the storm makes landfall. So just keep this part of the Fiji in your thoughts. Just keep them in your thoughts here, because they're going to go through a really rough ride here, unfortunately. And just hope for the best here. I just hope everybody has prepared for the system in advance, and they're in shelters right now, and they're hunkering this down in a safe and sturdy structure, well away from the storm surge along the immediate coastline there from this system. Here's a closer look at the infrared imagery here. This is rainbow imagery right now, and you can see again, like you saw in the water vapor imagery previously, the storm's eye is becoming more and more cloud-filled with time, and that is in due part due to the storm undergoing an eyewall placement cycle, which I forgot to mention when I was looking at the radar, but let me go ahead and look at it once again here, and you can see right here, especially in the earlier frames there, the eyewall placement cycle ongoing with the Cyclone right now, and especially in the last few frames, it looks like it may be nearing the process of completing it here just before landfall, which of course is not really good news at all. And the eyewall placement cycle, it's pretty much a double-edged sword here. It's good because it weakens the storm easily by about maybe 5 miles per hour, give or take, from what it originally was before the eyewall placement cycle. But it's also bad because it increases the wind field too, the tropical storm force and cyclone force wind field. So, to say, for instance, this storm has a 50-kilometer radius of tropical storm force winds before the eyewall placement cycle, and then once it completes it, that could increase up to maybe 75 or 100 kilometers radius of tropical storm force wind. So it's both good and bad here. Bad in the long term, and good, I guess, in the really short term when it's ongoing, and if it does it at landfall, pretty much. So just please keep that a note as well. So the wind field has pretty much increased from the system because it's undergoing currently an eyewall placement cycle. So a lot more parts of the island are going to experience some really violent and really intense weather here from this cyclone, unfortunately. Here's another look at infrared imagery here. There's another look. This is the AVN band right here. And you can pretty much see the same story as you saw with the rainbow IR. The eye becoming more and more cloud-filled with time. And quickly, I just want to mention the remnants here of what used to be Tropical Storm Zazu here has dissipated. I believe it dissipated earlier this morning, if I'm not mistaken. You can easily see why. It's pretty much nothing, just a really big mass of just moisture, really, for the most part. And the reason why it's not still alive here is because of this. See all this wind shear streaming straight into the system, ruining the system's chance of even maintaining at least its intensity. So this is why the system didn't get any higher than a high-end tropical storm on a Saffir-Simpson scale equivalent. So really good news on that front. Bad news, of course, since that outflow is, of course, due to the big cyclone we're talking about right now, of course, YASA, but good in terms of that it weakened this system as well. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, I guess, with that particular scenario. Just looking through the other tabs here, see if I missed anything. This is currently what's going on worldwide right now. Don't know why they have Zazu still marked. It's not marked on their tracking map here. Not tracking map, on their graphics here. So I imagine they're probably going to be updating this graphic here shortly. So Tropical Storm 05P, also known, of course, as YASA, is the only game in town right now to watch worldwide right now at this point in time in the world of the tropics right now. That is at least named. And then quickly, for anybody who was curious, there's absolutely nothing going on tropics-wise in Atlantic. Of course, there is a big nor'easter on the northeast coast, but that's, of course, not tropical in any means or any stretch of the imagination here, so I'm not going to be really talking about that because I'm not a nor'easter or winter weather type dude here, so I'm not going to be talking about that, only solely tropical activity here. So that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. Let me update this loop here and see if they got any more frames in here. But again, you can see the eyewall placement cycle ongoing there. Looking at the radar composite there, using the 3 Fiji weather radars that the Fiji Meteorological Service kindly allows us to use here and makes public for the public to use here. So let's see if they updated it on the newest frame. So this is 5:10. So this is 2 minutes, not 2 minutes old. This is about 12 minutes old. I'm sorry. And you can see the last frame there. Yeah, really close to landfall there. Really close to landfall on the last frame there. So wow. Okay. So that's That's certainly something there. So that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability here. If you want to know what websites and sites that they use for this tropical update, they're also down in the description below. If you want to check the description and see for yourself what's currently going on in a lot of the topics here, or maybe just to get more information here on what's currently going on in the topics right now. Main summary from this, to take away from this topical update here, keep a really close eye on Cyclone YASA here. It's nearing landfall. If you haven't prepared already for it or taken shelter for it already, it's virtually too late at this point, and it's got to hunker down where you are. If you have a shelter immediately nearby you, and if you have enough capacity, get into that as soon as you possibly can, because if the conditions aren't deteriorating already along the coastline of Varney Level, they're going to do it really fast here. And keep in mind, the storm is undergoing an Eyewall improvement cycle here, so the wind radius has expanded some here compared to, say, 10, 12 hours ago. So please also keep that in mind. And just because it's weakening does not mean you need to stop taking the cyclone seriously here. This is the most intense cyclone to impact the island here since, of course, Cyclone Winston in February 2016, which I'm sure a lot of people that lived in Fiji at that time still remember to this day. So please, again, stay safe, listen to your local officials, listen to what they say, and stay safe. It's going to be a rough night here for a lot of you on Fiji, I'm sure of it, especially those of you guys on Vanuatu that are going to be getting into the eye and eyewall of this. And just follow your local officials, stay safe, stay hunkered down, and make smart choices, and don't mess around with the system in any way, shape, or form. So again, that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. I apologize if it was a little bit on the long side or rambling side, but I just really want to get through how serious this cyclone is for anybody who may be watching, or if anybody knows anybody watching, just to let them know and let them be aware of this cyclone that it's currently impacting Vanuatu of the Fiji Islands right now. So again, that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. Hope everybody's a great day or night wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Peace.